Thank you all for joining us. So blessed to be a part of your day. Day 4 of Miller's Mission here at the Garrity Walmart in Nampa. Please stop by and see us make a difference in the lives of men and women and families here in the Treasure Valley. We would love to see you again. Our spring event, we do this twice a year. Been doing it for 8 years. It is amazing to see so many people coming out. And by the way, we do want to thank everyone who has already stopped by. Of course, our big days are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we can't wait to see you. And if you're thinking about donating before you go off to McCall, off to the Oregon coast, or just take a few days off, why not swing by? And it was so nice last night to see all the graduates getting ready and all the people supporting the graduates coming in, buying flowers, having a good time. A truly magical time in the Treasure Valley. And won't you help us help our friends at the Boise Rescue Mission? Joining us now, our friend Flora, Assistant Manager of the Rescue Thrift Store. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Flora, tell us a little bit about what the Rescue Mission has done in the lives of people that you serve each and every day.
Well, I've watched people come into the mission broken, and they come in with nothing, and they come in and they get unconditional love, they get meals, they get a bed, and it's just amazing to watch how that affects people.
It's things that most of us take for granted all the time, right?
Yeah, even me periodically. I have to step back and look again at some of the people at the mission, and I was there one time,
Well, you were there one time, but specifically, let's just talk about people that have changed, not using their names and such, but, maybe it was a mom, maybe it was a veteran, maybe it was a kid who the donations given to people here, from here, have actually made a difference. Maybe it was a new shirt for a job interview. Maybe it was training. Maybe it was getting a high school diploma. Maybe it was going to college. What have you seen that has inspired you?
Well, I've been with the mission for a long time, so I've seen a lot of all of that. I've seen women that's come in and they've gone through our learning center, and they've gotten their GED, which wasn't a priority for them before, and they've gone on to get good jobs. I specifically remember we had 2 little girls at the mission. They were sisters, and they just had a really, really rough beginning in their life, and they came in. Their mom went through our program, and these little girls, they flourished under the love and the care that the mission gave to this little family.
Well, what have you learned from your time with the mission?
Oh my gosh, I've learned that there are so many people out there. When I came to the mission, I had never known people that donated the way the community does for the Boise Rescue Mission. This was a completely new thing for me. I remember there was times when our pantry at the shelter we didn't have enough food to make enough for the whole amount of people that came in for the night meal. And somebody would say, well, just let's pray it in. And before we knew it, it was like there was so much food coming in those doors, and it was more than enough for one meal. It was multiple meals that week. So, it's amazing at the things that happen.
Let's pray it in?
Pray it in, yeah. So we just pray about it, and we ask God to bless the hearts of the donors to want to give to us. And within an hour, food just started rolling through the front doors. Literally on carts.
Well, that is amazing. Anything else that you'd like to share with people right now this morning as far as the ministry and people that are new to the area and may not be familiar with the good works of the Boise Rescue Mission?
Well, it takes the entire community out there to help this mission run. Because we just run on donations. We're not state funded or anything like that. So, it takes the people out there in the world that have things to give as a donation to this mission, so that we can give to those less fortunate and help them.
What about the summer?
Oh my gosh, it gets so hot. It's already hot out here, and these kids, especially for those who are just living on the street and not coming to the shelters yet. They come in for a meal. They come in to get water. They just come in out of the heat. We need the help that anybody can give us. because these people don't have they don't have anything. So if you give to this mission, you're helping these families out. You're helping them stay hydrated. You're helping them stay full. Some of these kids come in and they don't have shoes on their feet. They don't have any. What they're wearing is all they have. So I just ask that everybody just help the mission.
Well, if you could go back to that, not having shoes on their feet. Can you? And that was very specific, but they come in, they don't have shoes on their feet.
Yeah, they've been out on the streets. They sleep under the bridges or wherever they can. They don't have shoes. They sleep
under the bridges.
Some of them do. They sleep under the bridges, and they come in, and they're. I don't know where their shoes went, but some of those kids come in and they don't have shoes.
What's their mental health like?
They're scared. They're hot. They're cranky. They don't want to be there. But then once they get there and they get a new pair of shoes from the clothing room, they get new clothes. They have a meal.
How does that change their?
Then
demeanor?
they come out of the showers and they're happy kids again. It's like Christmas for them. All of a sudden they have this stuff, and they turn into children again. Happy children.
And that's where your donations come in. Flora, we appreciate you, as always, getting up so early and starting your day with us. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone number is 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Big news yesterday. The NFL's decided a new policy when it comes to the national anthem. President Trump was on Fox and Friends earlier this morning discussing it. Let's take a listen at KIDO Talk Radio.
You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country.
I like that with the president when he's saying that. So if you don't want to stand for the national anthem, is it time to get the boot?
You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country.
Well, what has been the reaction of football fans? Let's take a listen.
Religion and politics is not sports, so let's separate the two.
Right. I still don't understand that, but we're not talking about religion. We're talking about the national anthem.
I understand the NFL is its own entity, but for you to make a statement like that and to stop, men from speaking their voice of something that's really, a lot of injustice that's happening, then you should be paying more attention to that.
Right, but you can't stop the injustice from happening if you work for UPS, if you're a driver for Uber, if you're a talk show host. Your opinions you keep to yourself at the workplace. That's what keeps America going. So why should the NFL, who holds all of us hostage when we sit back and we take a look at watching games? We don't want to watch games for political statements. We want to enjoy them, right? 580-5436. 580-KIDO, Kevin Miller with you here, but the president basically saying, look, if you don't stand for the national anthem, it's time to go. And here is the official policy from the NFL.
A new policy adopted by the NFL calls for team and league personnel that are on the field to stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. Personnel who choose not to stand for the anthem may stay in the locker room or in a similar location off the field until the anthem is over. Browns quarterback Tyrod Taylor would have preferred that the players be involved in making a policy.
To make a decision that strong, you would hope that the players have input on it, but obviously not. That's what we have to deal with as players, not for good or a bad thing, but at the end of the day, they call the shots and make the rules, so that's what we have to abide by.
The NFL Players Association says it'll review the new policy and challenge any aspect of it that is inconsistent with the collective bargaining agreement. Peter Schwartz, Fox News.
Right. I love this. The players should be involved. That's why they have bosses. And it's not as if the NFL owners are overly patriotic. The NFL owners are tired of the ratings going down. The NFL owners are tired of taking a beating. They're tired of advertisers leaving. In fact, there was a report yesterday that the NFL owners are scared to death of Donald Trump simply because he resonates with the forgotten America. Whether it's in Idaho or Iowa or Indiana or wherever, the people that have been marginalized for 8 years under Barack Obama. And that's what caused Donald Trump to be elected, and that's what continues to cause the NFL to sit there and say, look, you don't want to stand for the national anthem? That's great. Go somewhere else. Stay in the locker room. Take a knee. If you take a knee, you're going to get fined. Your team is going to get fined, and there's going to be a penalty. And there should be. I go back to what the president said, and you have so many, we're so guarded about, well, we don't want to state this or state that. I agree with the president. In fact, if you don't want to stand for the national anthem, beat it.
I don't think people should be staying in locker rooms, but still, I think it's good. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country.
Right. That statement from President Trump. You don't want to stand? There you go. 580-5436. 580-KIDO.
People should be staying in locker rooms, but still, I think it's good. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country.
I love it. Now, the president had more to say with our own Brian Kilmeade at KIDO Talk Radio.
You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. Well, you shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe you shouldn't be in the country.
That's right. We'll get your thoughts next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. All right, continuing on here. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning. The big news from President Trump that, look, the NFL has capitulated, and that's a good thing. You know, how many of us will go back to watching the NFL football games? More coming up from the president with his big news from Fox as we move along here. And we sure appreciate you joining us for Miller's Mission. But the president, again, coming out and making his statements. Here's our own Gernal Scott.
MS-13 is believed by police to be responsible for dozens of deaths on Long Island over the past 2 years. President Trump says it's in part due to lapses in immigration.
The biggest loopholes of any country anywhere in the world. We have the worst immigration laws of any country.
Tom Homan, acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, says there is some progress.
ICE has removed nearly 11,000 criminal gang members.
But many challenges remain. President Trump says stronger statutes and a border wall will help. And he promised victims' families he will throw the gangs out. In New York, Gernal Scott, Fox News.
All right, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller with you here. Here is more of a reaction concerning the national anthem.
Their attendance was down, their TV ratings were down, and I think they finally realized that they're a business and they need to pay attention to what the American people, their consumers, demand, and that's respect for our flag and respect for our country.
It's a disgusting, racist move by the NFL. They don't respect the players' right to free speech. They aren't fine with just letting them do their symbolic protests. They feel a need, I think, because they're worried about repercussions from the president, that they're going to stamp all over the players' rights.
I'm tired of the kneeling. I mean, they should respect the guys that are protecting their country and their right to do that. I get their right. They get that right.
Here we are getting ready for Memorial Day weekend in the Treasure Valley, across the country, around the world, and we have people saying, well, it's racist of the NFL to demand people respect America. How many of you respect America? How many of you understand the significance of the national anthem? And how many of you at work can make political statements? I mean, do you think the folks here at the Garrity Walmart, which we're very happy to be a part of, can all of a sudden tell you, give you their political thoughts on things? Most likely not, right? So why should it be any different from the folks in the NFL? Why should the NFL have these freedoms? And do people just so dislike the United States of America that they're willing to make those idiotic statements? And I love what Tyrod Taylor said. Well, the players should. Why? Players are employees, right?
But I don't agree with it.
This is another sign of the lack of black ownership in the NFL, the fact that there are no black owners.
Now, what does that have to do with the national anthem? At 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Can't we all just get along?
And the players have to learn from this experience.
They should let guys do whatever they want. Freedom of speech, you know?
Peaceful protest is an American right.
I just believe that everything is media motivated anyways. And, cameras aren't on them. No one will even realize that they're there or not.
Right. I think that was the smartest comment there. Everything is motivated by the media. Everything is perpetrated by the media. The media goes on, and the media gets tired of being vilified. But if it churns, it burns, right? If it leads, it bleeds. So one of the reasons why the NFL had the ratings drops is instead of focusing in on who's going to be ahead in the AFC or NFC, it was who's going to kneel and who wasn't. In the business, they call that the tune-out. And we saw the NFL ratings drop 10%, 15%, right? They don't want to deal with that. They want to make money. 6:25, Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Let's get you to work. Let's go to McKaylee in Cuna on KIDO Talk Radio. McKaylee, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Yeah, in response to your question, I'm a 10-year Army vet, one tour of duty in Iraq in 2003, and Memorial Day, it's not just about going out, picnics and this and that, having a great time. It's also about appreciating what we all, past, present, and future, have done and continue to do for our nation. And as far as the NFL players taking a knee, what the commissioner came up with as far as punishment for them, it's not enough. They should forfeit the game. Anybody does that. There's no room for that. And all these bleeding hearts saying, well, they're taking their freedom of speech away, they're doing this, doing that. That is not the venue to do it. Yes, I fought, just like everybody else, for everybody's right to protest, say whatever they want to say, but there's a time and place for it. That is not one of the time and places to do it. So, I keep hearing people say that liberals don't like people flying the flag because they find it offensive. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep flying it, and God bless America.
McKaylee, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
He hit the nail on the head when we're talking about this. You have places, subdivisions, businesses that will not fly the American flag because it's not inviting to international or foreign people. Now, isn't that going a tad too far? Do you think the Chinese, the Mexicans, the Canadians, the Europeans, the Italians, whomever, the Japanese, certainly not the North Koreans. I mean, the North Koreans will fly that flag anywhere. And I'm so sick and tired of people going, well, it's just like a dictatorship. No, there's nothing wrong with being proud of your country. And specifically on Memorial Day weekend. And I know people mean well when they go up to a veteran and go, hey, it's Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. For those people that have served, I don't know if they're going to take it as the way it should be intended. Memorial Day is for people that do not come back, that didn't come back, that didn't get to go to a prom, that didn't get to have children, that maybe didn't get to graduate from an institution, that died in Saigon or someplace in far-off lands in Europe and such. We watch these movies like Dunkirk or Saving Private Ryan, and all of a sudden we all get scared, and we have people now saying everybody has post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, I know if you've been in combat, you have post-traumatic stress disorder. Working in an office, I don't believe, with all due respect, and look, I'm not Dr. Laura or even Dr. Phil, that's not post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, when you take a look at what these folks have been through and the type of bonding that these people have, Memorial Day should be remembered. And look, the veterans, the people that made it, they don't want you to be forced to do anything. But God bless the Boy Scouts and others who go up and put the flags at the state cemeteries, the state veteran cemeteries, or in Arlington. That's a lot of work. And to be a part of those ceremonies, that's amazing. So different from the self-indulgent, self-delusional players of the NFL. Let's talk about it next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie. Blessed to be a part of your day. Coming up, Rachel Sutherland will join us from Fox News Radio. We'll get her thoughts on Secretary Pompeo testifying before Congress on North Korea, China, Syria, and ISIS. Also, thank you, Ray. And also, we would love you all to come back here to the Napa Walmart collecting clothes for kids. Rachel, good morning.
Hey, Kevin.
Good to have you with us. So how was Secretary Pompeo before Congress on the big hits?
Well, good morning. Yeah, there were a lot of topics at yesterday's hearing for the Foreign Relations Committee. I think that the biggest headlines probably were North Korea coming out of that. He was saying that the administration is still prepping for this June 12th summit in Singapore. In fact, we've heard that a team of administration officials are actually going to Singapore this weekend to start dealing with laying the groundwork. But, as you know, things appear to be still up in the air. Pompeo saying that his eyes are wide open on this, that they still are optimistic, but that they'll walk away from any deal that doesn't work well for the United States. So that's kind of been the line that we've heard somewhat. Some other headlines coming out of this had to do with that Chinese company ZTE, which U.S. intelligence officials believe is being used by the Chinese government to spy on maybe us, but Pompeo was saying that, look, that the Trump administration has not decided whether to roll back sanctions, as has been reported. He says it's still under review, still working their way through it. Several headlines also talk about ISIS and some other matters, but primarily I think what came out of this is North Korea.
Well, North Korea, they're smacking Mike Pence back and forth. You just have to wonder if it is going to happen. Those are the big headlines today because Mike Pence said, look, you can end up like such and such.
Oh, yeah, that didn't go over well. In fact, I believe that a vice foreign minister for North Korea is calling him stupid for that remark. And it could inflame North Korea because we know what happened to Muammar Gaddafi. He did give up his weapons program in 2003. I think it was like 7 years later when he was toppled anyway. I mean, it wasn't an exact correlation, but things did not turn out well for Gaddafi.
No, we all remember the end of poor Muammar. Anything else we should be looking out for this week, Rachel?
Well, I think that the main thing is North Korea, but also, I mean, we can't avoid all of this talk about Spygate. In fact, the president just tweeting really moments ago on James Clapper, the former the director of national intelligence, saying that he's admitted there was spying in my campaign. Spygate, a terrible thing, and there's going to be these 2 meetings that are supposed to be held today where Democrats and Republicans will look at classified documents related to all of this. Now Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, is calling for one of those meetings to be canceled. He issued a statement saying that basically he's concerned that Republicans are going to spread falsehoods about what's been revealed in their meeting. He doesn't know why there needs to be separate meetings. I mean, this whole thing is just spun into something that we never could have imagined. But these meetings are supposed to take place at high noon here on the East Coast, so we'll see if what goes down.
When I think of Spygate, I think of the New England Patriots. I'm sorry.
I had a colleague tell me it had to do with football, and I'm like, what? I'm not a sports person.
Rachel, you take care. Thank you.
Thanks.
Rachel Sutherland joining us from Capitol Hill. From Capitol Hill to the Nampa Walmart, Garrity and Franklin. Kevin Miller in the morning. Miller's Mission closed for kids as day 4 rolls on. Jocelyn joins us now. Jocelyn, good to have you with us.
Good morning, Kevin. How you doing?
Not bad. Thank you for joining us. So, we talked to you 6 months ago. What has changed in your life since you were here at the palatial, majestic Walmart parking lot in Nampa, Idaho?
Well, since the last time I saw you, Kevin, I've graduated the New Life program and started working full-time, getting my life back together.
That's easier said than done. And how did the donations that people give here or at other times help you?
The donations that people have given helped me, not only myself, but my daughter as well. It's helped us progress through this program to be able to move forward, not have to worry while I was getting my life back together. One thing that did happen, Kevin, my dad passed away. So getting these donations in what helped be able to focus on what we needed to focus on, not focusing on everything else around us and knowing that we were taken care of because of our donors.
We talk to so many folks within the Boise Rescue Mission, and you make the extraordinary seem ordinary. I mean, getting your life back together, easier said than done. Can you, Jocelyn, share with us at KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM, your challenges and what you faced, not just making the commitment, but following through, easier said than done?
So I definitely would have to say, knowing that there's people out there that have faith in me, that have faith that I can change, that want to see that I can change, make putting those actions so much easier into place. It's not as hard knowing the amount of support that's behind us So it's just putting one foot in front of the other, one day at a time.
When did you finally realize that people really care about you, and what did that mean for you and your journey?
I think it would have been when I joined the program back in March 2017, knowing that there were people who wanted to see that change, who knew that could happen. It meant more than anything because I didn't know who I was. I was lost and broken. My daughter didn't know who she was as a person. And so it's meant the entire world knowing that we have that support and the encouragement to go forward.
Jocelyn here with us at KIDO Talk Radio. We're focusing in on kids. What does it mean for the kids this summer at the Boise Rescue Mission?
So for the kids of the Boise Rescue Mission this summer, it's a safe place to go while their parents have to work to be able to provide for them so they don't return back to the homelessness or so that they can get a house. It means that they have clothes and don't have to worry whether they're going to have a clean outfit to wear. It means that they have food in their bellies, whether it be when they're with the kids program, whether it's going to be with, when they go home at night. It means that they're going to have friends and family around them.
And any bit helps.
Anything helps. Absolutely.
Sunscreen, towels, sheets, anything.
Anything.
Jocelyn, anything else you'd like to share with us? Great job today.
I'd just like to say thank you to anybody that donates for us or comes and helps to volunteer. We appreciate every little bit of help that we can get because without our volunteers and our donors, we wouldn't be where we are.
And folks, thank you, Jocelyn.
Thanks, Kevin.
You can make a difference today, BoiseRM.org, or better yet, stop by and see us. We're here tonight till 7, hanging out, and so many of you have come by. Usually we have big days on Thursday and Friday and occasionally Saturday. We do this every 6 months, thanks to the Boise Rescue Mission Team, Mazda, Subaru, and Camping World. And I live out here in the parking lot, and it's a good time. Because we see the best of people. We've had such a contentious primary. We've had, fake news, this, that, and the other. This is a nonpartisan, fun event that makes a difference. And I do want to thank everybody that stopped out and will be stopping out. We so enjoyed hanging out and, personally for me, waddling over to speak with you. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So the NFL has a new policy when it comes to kneeling. Donald Trump this morning has been sounding off about it and saying, look, there shouldn't be a controversy when it comes to the national anthem. You either stand or maybe it's time for you to go somewhere else, right? And then you have people saying it's a First Amendment issue. No, it isn't, really.
I know that when this first broke a couple of years ago, there were a lot of owners who were upset by the players taking a knee. They did not like the fans' reaction to it. In fact, they saw players, or if they saw fans leaving the game in droves, turning off their TV sets. Ratings were down 9.7% last season.
Right. And they don't want the ratings to go down. The NFL is not doing this because of patriotism. The NFL is doing this for their survival. Let's go to the phones. Liberal Steve joins us now at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Liberal Steve.
Good morning, Miller. Going down the road, trying to loosen my load, listening to Miller and his mission. You know, if they haven't been in there and donated anything to your mission cause, they shouldn't even be able to call and expound on anything. As far as President Trump of the United States of America saying anything about players or anything else, he's got no room to say a thing. Never, Miller, never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice, lying, and greed, and that's what it is. Just the other day, they had another video of cops beating up on an NBA player. So I say they can do what they want, whether they get fined. And I don't
now
even want
you joined Miller's mission yesterday, right?
That's right, and I don't even play football.
And what did you donate?
$1.
Oh, thank you.
First dollar that went in at 6 a.m.
Appreciate your generosity.
I know. Now, I stopped.
That must have been tough for you.
Today.
That must have been tough for you.
Hey, if your buddies, your Republican buddies, wouldn't have upped the price of gasoline, especially in the state of Idaho, and everybody always running for Congress when they're asked the question every time they're running, how come our gasoline's so high? Well, I'll check into that. I'll look at the book. I'll see what's going on. Yeah.
Hey, Liberal
So anyway,
Steve.
yeah.
I'll check into that. Cindy in Caldwell joins us now at KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller in the morning. Good morning, Cindy.
Hey, Kevin. I just got to give a shout out to that Iraqi vet and all of you over there. You want to know what? I have just had such a marvelous time with you all and meeting all those people. That young lady who spoke earlier on, I think in the thrift store, I thought yesterday, what can I bring back? So people were talking about pillows, and I'm thinking, well, that's safe. Even when you have cardiac surgery, you can hug a pillow. And I know sometimes I'm hugging my pillow with my tears, but the shoes are good. Because you know what I saw with all of you over there, and I'm going to put me in the midst of it. A young lady used a term, which is, kind of a Christian term, we got to pray it in. Well, you people have helped, and the good Reverend Bosco over there, because I just felt so much a part of you to pray it through with a very heavy heart. And the Boise Rescue Mission to me is like, there's, quote, trauma centers, and trauma means wound as a nurse. So you can have a wounded heart, and I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but for me, you've been helping me pray a great sorrow in my heart, which was, I have to say, I'm not going to go into that now, the election, but you know what, to pray it, to just be with y'all, I want to thank you, because it's what I am just part of. Like you just had that young woman on. She to me is like, with a mother's heart. I want to see her, so make it, Jocelyn. And I'm so glad, because when I see people, and I see a lot of them, that I am always figuring out how I can get them down there to give them some hope. And mostly it's from where I'm doing this little Memorial Day thing at the Caldwell Library. So a shout out to the Caldwell Library that's letting me make this little memorial thing. It was becoming this big dirt pile of like an ashtray. So they're letting me honor the vets there. But between you, KID Radio, I am so blessed by all of you, because you're like a tag team of patriots between Lars Larson, who's always, supporting our military, and then we have Sean Hannity, yesterday playing the song The Last Monday in May. Hopefully maybe Ray could do that one all. But you people just have the heart of a tape, and you know what? For much as people that come to the mission that may feel forgotten, just like some of our vets, you're not forgotten. And you're showing that in so many different ways. And as a nurse, I get something simple to protect you as a pair of flip-flops or shoes from all that. So with a grateful heart, Kevin, I just thank you so much. I'll be back over with some flip-flops and some pillows. So thank you all over there, because not one of those people in there,
Right.
I could have been there too. So
And
please, everybody donate.
You're right, Cindy. God bless. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Blessed to be part of your day. Russell from CUNA is with us. I believe you were my first caller. Is that correct? You were the first caller so many years ago. You're just here hanging out.
Yes, I just wanted to come and see you in action.
Right, and we go back to my days on Hardball on MSNBC.
Well, the first time I ever saw you was when I was in Iraq, watching the television when I was yelling at Keith Olbermann and
Chris Matthews, right?
Yes, those guys made me sick.
And then you saw this guy.
Yeah, then I saw you on there, and I said, finally, the voice of reason has come to Iraq.
Right, so from Iraq to the Walmart parking lot, from MSNBC to KIDO Talk Radio.
Oh, those years have flown by. I love seeing every chance I get.
Well, we love you, Russell. We do. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to Mary in Midvale with Kevin Miller at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Mary in Midvale.
Good morning, Kevin. Good to hear your happy voice in the morning. And I just appreciate so much all you do, for your community, your fellow man, the country as a whole. And that man you had on this morning, who's on all the time, they call him Liberal Steve. I don't think he gets it. And I don't know why. Maybe his brain just isn't developed correctly. But he doesn't understand what you do for no compensation or very little accolades. Anyway, I have figured out, Kevin, I think maybe he's just a cull.
Mary,
you know what a cull is?
I have an idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, my favorite icon is John Wayne, and he had a quote, "Just a natural born cull, and there's not much you can do about it." Anyway, Kevin, thank you for what you're doing. That's my nasty remark for today. And keep up the good work. We enjoy you.
We enjoy you, Mary. Take care in Midvale.
All righty. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go to traffic and weather together at KID.